Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over the market, let's go over Tesla, let's go over what the hell just happened today for Tesla stock, go over the market in general related to Tesla stock, and as usual, if you guys enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. It is the final day of the week, of course. And yeah, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Make your own research, make your own decisions, all that stuff. Again, my membership course, or not course really, my membership, I guess in general, is live. If you want to join, the link is of course in the description below, or you can press the join now button where I release pretty much throughout the day, live thoughts, if you will, on Tesla stock as it's moving, giving you guys my thoughts pretty much as it occurs. So if you want that, of course, link is below. We are like 75 members strong now, which is actually pretty damn sweet. But nonetheless, we'll go over what I talked about. And today, I did talk about how, as the Tesla opened right here, you can see I said how, this is where I start becoming bearish slowly. The more we move up, the more bearish I get. And the R, which is the risk versus reward for bulls up here, starts diminishing severely, at least for now. Not financial advice, right? So we talked about that in the morning, right? Tesla, of course, or rather Elon, pretty much just before the market closed yesterday, announced he found a new CEO. He announced who it was. I forgot the name exactly of her right now. I'm not going to bring it up. But the point is he announced, and he literally specified who it is today. And the market essentially rallied in the morning on that. And we talked about how, we expected to kind of sell off in the morning, which it did. And it's, definitely had a decent chance of bouncing here. Though, of course, we ended up having a rumor come out saying how, like, Elon, now that he's stepping down on Twitter, he's probably going to step down on Tesla as well. So this rumor was actually circulating. I think the Wall Street Journal was circulating it or something like that. But nonetheless, this essentially caused quite a severe sell-off in Tesla stock throughout the day, as I'm sure you guys are probably well aware of, which was, I have to admit, unsurprising. Now, I personally have exited pretty much all my bullish positions almost exactly at the top, which I am very happy about. Though on the opposite side, I do wish I can say I re-entered bullish positions right at the bottom. Fortunately, I didn't. I definitely re-entered in the low 170s. Definitely too soon because I really didn't expect this severe of a sell-off. I did expect a bit of a sell-off, but not like half of this. This is quite a severe sell-off. And again, I personally believe it is mainly because of this rumor that was circulating around Tesla, right? So it's a pretty disappointing movement on the day or throughout the day for Tesla. Now, the most important thing to understand and to note here is the fact that we have arguably fallen out of this bear flag so far. And, you can see as I zoom in very close to here, you can see as we fell out of the bear flag, which was, of course, this teal line right here. As we fell out, Tesla, you can see, kind of tried to recapture it, right? It can, right here, it came up, tried to recapture it, it's trying to do it right here as well. And it's definitely finding some pretty, meaningful resistance, obviously, right? Because now it's, what acted as a support before is now going to be acting, of course, as a resistance. And that's exactly what is currently happening. So, this is not good. Let's just say that this is not what the bulls want to see. This is definitely, not ideal. Nice little 2-hour candle here, but unfortunately no follow through, which is very disappointing. But this is not what the bulls want to see. So let's figure out what this actually means. Is this all over? That's it. Is 180. We got pretty close to 180. We did get pretty damn close. We got to 177.5, right? That's pretty damn close to $180. But do we actually touch $180? Can we get there? Can we go to $200? Or is it just back down to like 150, maybe even 140 from here? That is the $1 million question. Now, obviously, no one knows for sure, but we're going to be taking some pretty nice educated guesses. So first and foremost, on the 1 hour RSI, you can see it is kind of, starting to set up slightly lower lows over here as it came down today, right? So that's not ideal. Keep in mind, this is all from here, right? It's arguably higher than any of these positions here from the RSI, but the RSI itself did go a little bit lower. Not a, concerning bearish divergence, but, definitely not, it's not helping the case right now. Let's just say that for the bulls, right? That's number one. Number two, the fact that we've fallen out of the bear flag, that is absolutely probably the most important thing to understand and to note here. Now, again, you can have these false breakouts, right? That is very common to have false breakouts. It's, that's why you always, even in these situations, you still want to be at least somewhat cautious, right? It's very, very important. So this can very well be a false breakout. But in order for this to be a false breakout, like latest end of day Tuesday, this would need to be back inside this channel. And the only way for it to get really truly back inside this channel, whether it's Monday or Tuesday, is to essentially go above $170 and, like, meaningfully above, I would even argue, right? Maybe 171, right? And really start closing some meaningful, 1 hour plus candles within that, area, if you will. So that to me is going to be extremely important to pay attention to see if that actually happens. But if we don't, and if we just keep getting resisted, and especially if 170 starts acting in a resistance, so let's say, for instance, Monday or something like that, we come up here and then we really find a resistance or something, right? That's going to be extremely bad, right? That is going to be really bad. Now, on the flip side, I do want to point out the fact that Fridays and Mondays, Mondays and Fridays, they tend to rhyme, right? So for instance, if Friday was a red day, it's like 7 out of 10 times Monday is a red day. It doesn't have to be just as severe. It could be more, could be less. Doesn't really matter. But the point is that it usually rhymes in that sense. So because today was a red day, I definitely think, it wouldn't be too surprising if Monday is a bit more of a red day and we potentially come down maybe even to about 167, right? A little bit lower, not too much lower, but definitely a little bit more. So for instance, that would be another move of about 1%, maybe, let's say, something like that. Nothing too completely severe, but that is something that I wouldn't be surprised. However, if that were to happen, regardless, I do believe that if, let's say, we move like this and, we get a little bit of a bounce here, which I do think we will. Whether it's here or whether it's here, I definitely think there's not much more room to the downside for now. I definitely think from this area here, we should still, regardless, get a bounce, get a retest over here, which will be around that 170 to 171 level, probably sometime early next week. And then from there, I think it'll be crucial. Either this is a false breakdown and we end up going back into this bear flag, and then from there, we'll definitely rally up even higher. Or this actually does get a resistance, or this acts as a resistance. It confirms the bear flag breakdown and we come up here and then we essentially just move back down. So this will be an extremely important level for early next week to pay attention to, guys. Very crucial, very important. Now, again, it doesn't mean that you always have to get bounces like this, but I definitely expect the bounce. I definitely expect a retest, and I'll be extremely closely paying attention to this. Now, next week, we also have the Tesla annual shareholder meeting, I believe, right? Which I believe will be live streamed as well, I think. I hope so, rather. Who knows what that could bring? That can definitely change things around, right? Especially if Elon puts any rumors down, the fact that, he's going to be stepping down as Tesla CEO or, however that decided to start, right? If any of that gets squandered, that would be very good as well. So that's going to be the main thing I am personally paying attention to early next week, right? Is this a false breakdown or not? At the moment, it doesn't seem like it is. Obviously, at the moment, it is definitely more bearish than bullish, but I definitely expect one more bounce for the reconfirmation of this breakdown, of the retest, and then most likely more fall through. So again, I guess this is the most simple textbook way I see it playing out. From here, we rally up to about 170, 171, retest, probably fail. That's usually what happens. Not always, but more often than not. And then we make our way down, right? Somewhere like this. Well, lower than that. You get the idea, right? We will go lower. At the very least, I think we'll get a double bottom around the low 150s, if not potentially all the way back down to the 40s, something like that. That's kind of what I personally foresee happening as of right now. So not the best thing in the world for bulls, but of course, we'll see what actually happens with that. Now, going back to the daily, actually, very quickly, let's go ahead and remove this little line here. Let's take a look at some major, moving indicators and whatnot. We have the 21 EMA, which we did now close below. So we closed like above it, then below it, then above it, now below it. We're kind of just like teetering on that 21 EMA, and the Bollinger Band is most likely, pretty much right above the white line of the Bollinger Band. You can see it is starting to slope a little bit, so that's interesting, right? We're definitely getting a little bit of a congestion happening here, right? So once this starts sloping in and really getting tight once again, well, you guys know the drill. We've done it several times. We've talked about it several times. It gets tight, it explodes, and the move is usually pretty substantial. So that's something else to consider. We are, of course, still pretty much closing at the 100-day moving average, though this time below it. We're like just these. I can't show them all, unfortunately. But it's just like the 21 EMA, the Bollinger Band, the median line, the 100-day moving average, they're all in the same vicinity, and we're closing up, below, up, below, up, below, and just day after day. Just it's like Tesla doesn't even know where it wants to go right now, right? It's very confused as to what it wants to do and where it wants to go. So we're still above at least the 10-day moving average. So the extreme short-term bullish momentum is still technically in Tesla's favor, and that's why I wouldn't be surprised if on the daily we do come down closer to it, right? Again, right, that 167-ish level, maybe 166, high 166s, right, which is roughly where this 10-day moving average is going to be on Monday, and you get a bit of a bounce from there. So that truly wouldn't surprise me, right? But we'll see, of course. We'll see. So those are the main things I am personally paying attention to, right? Taking a quick look on what's it called? TSLQ, you can see, obviously, if Tesla broke downwards from its bear flag, well, naturally, this will be breaking upwards towards bull flag. So in other words, same concept. I wouldn't be surprised if TSLQ comes down, retests, and then rallies up, right? That's just textbook. Again, it doesn't mean it always has to play out like that. If it did, making money will be way too easy in the market. So you'll always have to take everything with a bit of caution. But that's kind of what, the most standard pathway would be moving forward from here based on what I personally see right now from the technical. So that's essentially what I'm seeing for now. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think down below. Also, take a quick look at the weekly candle. Let's remove all the drawings for now so we can get a better look at the candle itself. And the weekly candle at the moment looks kind of weird. Not the best looking weekly candle in the entire world. Nice little move up. Again, we had pretty much today to this 177.5 level. But yeah, the fact that it closed below last week's closing price, isn't great. I'm not gonna lie, that isn't ideal. This is definitely not helping the bullish case right now, in my opinion, of course. But you never really know with this stock sometimes. So tomorrow, or not tomorrow, sorry, next week with the investor day coming up, could be, or annual shareholder meeting, could be a pretty big day and could definitely change a lot. But as of right now, things aren't looking all that great. So yeah, let me know what you think down below, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you, of course, on Monday. Peace.